Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the one and only podcast, You Talk a Lot. So, today I want to talk about the art or the act of contentment. And there's a lot of different directions that I want to take this, but I think that it's a really important topic because it is something that I have definitely tried to invoke or enact in my life, and I think it's an important practice that we should learn to do just to honestly be happier overall, especially as like a girl and a teenage girl right now. Like, I feel like this is such a time where it's like you're constantly comparing yourself or being compared to other people, and it's hard to kind of feel fully fulfilled in life. So, to start off, I guess we could talk about, like being content with yourself and the way you look. As you can see, this is the first episode where I am not wearing any makeup because I didn't really have anywhere to go today, and I don't know why. I hate wearing makeup if I have nothing to do. Like, I just can't wear makeup for no reason because it's just really irritating to me. So I was considering putting it on, but then I was like, I'm just gonna take it off right after this episode, and I was like, that's just not worth it to me. So yeah, and I think that this is an important topic because I feel like for a lot of girls, especially now, girls and women, it's really hard to feel completely content with your bare face. And even right now, I am a little ooh, should I post this? But I think if, we normalize it, then it's not really going to be something to be fearful of or something that's taboo. I, for one, love wearing makeup. I spoke about this, I think, in the last episode. I've always loved watching makeup tutorials when I was younger, and I love putting on makeup. I find it so therapeutic in the morning. I love listening to music and just being in complete silence, not talking to anyone, and just peacefully putting on my makeup. Sometimes I make it take a lot longer than it really needs to, just because it's calming for me. But I don't want to have to wear makeup. Sometimes I'll be getting ready for school, and then I'll look at myself and be like, I feel kind of pretty today. Maybe I don't need to wear mascara. And a lot of the times I end up just wearing it anyways, even if I don't feel like wearing it, because I'm maybe I'll regret it after. But now I've started, maybe it's the senioritis or whatnot, but now sometimes I'm okay, no, I won't wear it. Or if I don't feel like putting on makeup, it's not the end of the world, because it's kind of exposure therapy or whatever. The thing is, I do normally wear a lot of kajal and eyeliner, so I do feel scared sometimes that people will think I look sick, but I'm whatever. I think that's one of the things, that's why I don't wear fake eyelashes, or I'm scared to I love the way they look on so many of my friends, but I feel for me, if I start wearing them constantly, I feel and I've heard this happens with so many people, they feel they can't take it off because you wake up beautiful, you know what I mean? So I just feel that's something I don't want to get into, because it's hard to get out of, if that makes sense. But yeah, I love wearing makeup, but I feel society makes it a norm, and it's something that is you have to do as a woman, to feel pretty. And there are so many people who look so good with literally minimum makeup. I feel I'm kind of in the middle. I don't do a full beat really, but I do my eyes a lot, so I feel that kind of makes my makeup look a lot more. But there's some girls who literally just wear a little mascara, and that is enough, you know what I mean? And who is it? And I was watching Sterling Point, and Ramona and Una, they were both actually all of them. I mean, I'm sure probably were wearing makeup because it's camera or whatever, but the whole minimalistic of it, I think it looks so chic and fresh. And personally, for me, I really love doing my eyes. I've been playing around with eyeshadow and stuff a lot recently, and I honestly love it. I think it's so fun, and it's like easier than blending out because I have this like liquid eyeliner eyeshadow thing that I normally have to like dip a brush in, but like it's so hard to blend out, and eyeshadow is so much easier. And it's like more fun because I like playing around with like different colors and stuff. And that's the thing, like I love makeup because I love being able to use it to express myself creatively and like, you know, feel beautiful as well, but also just like the whole experience of it is something I enjoy. Like I know a lot of women like they hate wearing makeup, but they just wear it because they have to. I enjoy the process of putting it on. I also, though, I do hate the way it feels after a while. Like that's like one of the first things I look forward to doing when I come home is like taking off my makeup. Like that's why I try to get stuff done as soon as possible, because like once I'm done with like needing to go out or see people, then like I take my makeup off, because it's like, and like washing my face after, it feels so nice, because especially like my eyes, like I like mascara, like you can feel it after a while. And then that's why I also like hate putting things on my face, because like I can feel it, you know, and I hate that. But yeah, so that was one of the topics I want to talk about. And I feel like as women, it's important to kind of, and it's obviously easier said than done, but I think that maybe everyone should do, I've seen like there was like a trend going on for a while where like some people were like not wearing makeup anywhere for like I think like 30 days or something. And I think that's like a little excessive, because I feel like you should still be able to feel beautiful, you know what I mean? Like sometimes it's like when you go to an event or like a party or whatever, like obviously like when you do a dramatic eye or like lip or whatever, like it adds, you know what I mean? But I feel like, yeah, for like every day, you don't have to wear makeup. Like if you're going grocery shopping, like, you know, it shouldn't be something that like you feel like you need to go like do yourself up just because like that's what society expects. You know what I mean? Like for this video, I was like, this is all I'm really gonna need. Like this is the only time people are gonna see me today. So I was like, why would I put on makeup for this short interaction just because like I don't want to like feel ugly? You know what I mean? And it's obviously like a little hard or whatever, and I feel like I look tired, but I'm like, you know, it's fine, and it's more personal. I feel more like we're just like chilling, talking or whatever, you know? But yeah, okay, so this is another thing that I wanted to talk about, and this is kind of more, I guess, not directed, but like more based on me and who I am as a person. But I kind of wanted to talk about like my lack of FOMO, because I feel like I'm sure there's definitely a lot of other people who can relate, but I feel, and I think I have also spoken about this before, but I am like very like independent, and I think I've just always been someone who has like a lot of hobbies and passions and interests, so I've always kept myself busy. Like I remember like my mom always like used to say like she would never have to worry about like entertaining me because I could always entertain myself, whereas like with my brother, like she would like go and take him out and stuff like that, because like otherwise he would get bored and not really know what to do. But like I've always had so many things that like I like to do, so I've always had something to do constantly, especially as a kid. I feel like now, and this is like something I've been honestly putting like a effort to kind of get this back, because I feel like I've grown away, or like kind of like distance from a lot of my interests just like after getting a phone, honestly, and like watching TV and stuff. Like social media honestly does, like I think it is so bad for kids, and I honestly am glad that I grew up without it, because I didn't have so much exposure to like TV and stuff. Like obviously I would watch cartoons and stuff as a kid, but like I didn't have a phone until I think like 12. And that was good for me because I spent time reading. I used to paint, draw, write. I would do like a million things. And now I still do those things, but it's so easy to get like stuck into like a loophole of doom scrolling, and then like 2 hours go by and you were supposed to read a book or you were supposed to paint something. You know what I mean? And I am such a victim to that. And I've definitely tried to stray away from that. Like I set myself my own screen time, And, sometimes I have to just like tell myself, I have to be like, okay, you're done. Like, just stop. You're not allowed to watch TV for the day, or you have to go and do something, because I I feel like I'm missing out on so much time where I can be doing things. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's taken me so long. I still haven't even fully learned guitar because, one, I keep getting my nails done, but also like I like keep looking at it, but like actually go and sit down, it takes me so long, and I'm like, okay, I'll just like watch TV tonight, because I'm kind of tired. I don't really feel like practicing. And it's so easy to do that, but it's so important to not, it's so important to be like, okay, no, like this is fun and this is cool, and you get to learn something new. Like, I had a goal to read 5 books this summer. I only got to 2, and honestly, one of them I had read halfway already, and then the other one was like literally like not even 200 pages. So, you know what I mean? And I had all summer. So, I'm trying to get back into that, and it's difficult for sure. And so there is sometimes I wish I could just delete all my social media and just like completely, wipe off the face of the earth. But unfortunately, I'm not strong enough for that yet. But we're trying. We're trying. Anyways, I wanted to talk about my lack of FOMO, though, in like group, like social settings, I guess, which sounds like kind of bad, but honestly, and I mean, I don't think it sounds sad, because like it literally is not sad at all to me. But I mean, I definitely I obviously, I love my friends, and I think it is really important though to like still stay a little social, like occasionally, you know what I mean? Like, you definitely should interact with other people, go outside and stuff, because like you don't want to become like a hermit and like super antisocial, and it's important to like go out, do things, meet new people, blah blah blah. But there are so many times where there'll be like a plan or something, and then like somebody will have to cancel, and the plan will get canceled, and I'll like be like not that upset about it, to be honest, because then I get to use that time to do one of my own things. That's why I have always been someone who has hated sleepovers, and I don't know how many other people will relate to this, but like I literally used to use my mom as an excuse for like, she said no, I couldn't go, even though she would be like, yeah, for sure, and I'd be like, no, like, say you can't, because I love my own bed. I love sleeping in my own bed. I have a fortress of pillows around me. It's like the most comfortable thing in the world. I love my own bed. And my nighttime routine is sacred to me. I used to have like a much more actual nighttime routine where I would do my whole like skincare and whatever. Honestly, I stay up now to the point of like literal exhaustion, so I literally have no desire to actually do anything anymore, which is really bad, I know. But anyways, like I like to watch my TV and then, get myself a little late night snack and just kind of like be with myself. I think it's also just like super calming and relaxing to me because the entire house is asleep, so it's just like calm and peaceful and quiet, and it's like I feel like I'm just like alone and I get to do whatever I want. And I think that I just really enjoy that. I enjoy that like solitude and that like calm and being able to just be with myself and not, have to deal with everything. But I love that. And then, I'll see like pictures and stuff of like my friends out, and like I honestly will not be super like bothered about it. And I think, which is nice, and that's I guess how like you've gotten good friends, but like a lot of my friends do kind of just like know that about me now. Like they're like, oh yeah, they know that I'm not gonna respond in group chats because like I just like hate group chats. So like they'll text me separately normally, and because I'll let them figure out the plan. Like I don't really care that much. Or like a lot of the times like now I pretty much like I don't go often to like a lot of like the big group hangout settings, and then like it's fine, you know what I mean? And I don't feel bad about it, you know what I mean? Like my friends sometimes like they'll go and then they'll not even like think to like invite me or whatever, or like it was funny. There was this one time like my friend was telling me about something, and I was like, and it was about food, so I was like, oh my god, you guys should have like told me to come, and they were like, would you have gone? And I was like Maybe. So, which is kind of funny. And like it was kind of like, oh. But, that's like how you know that they see you for who you are. And also, it's not like I take it personally because it's like very much my own doing and I'm aware of that. So I'm like, I'm not going to expect anything. But, occasionally, of course, I will come and I'll show up and whatever. But I can't do like constantly the same people over and over again because I feel like that's how friendships die so fast because you get sick of one another. Like, it's important to also take space from people because when you're with the same people constantly, like, one, you run out of things to talk about. I feel like that's how drama starts. And I just feel like it's unhealthy. You know what I mean? Like, you need to get your own time and you need to and I think I just obviously sit with my thoughts a lot for myself. I think that's why like having a podcast is nice because I am technically talking to people instead of just myself, but like I literally can just sit in my own head for hours and just think about everything, think about my life, overthink. I think that's why it's also so difficult for me to sleep because I'm literally constantly I don't know why I choose like right before I go to bed to like completely plan out my entire future and like overthink about my entire life. And obviously that's like not the right time, but I have to allot it into my day and that's the only time I'm free to just kind of like free think. But I think for that reason I am like emotionally aware. Like I've always thought like I could go to therapy, but I feel like I would already be like, yeah, I know I do this and I know I do this. And like the therapist would like be like, oh, okay, so like what are you here for? Because I know what my problems are and I'm aware of them. Do I necessarily actively want to fix them or change them? No, but I do know what they are. So good or bad, not really sure. But so yeah, I just wanted to say like it's for my girls and guys who, enjoy spending time with themselves and can spend time with themselves without being, without wanting to be somewhere else, like I love like nights at home. I love just like being with myself and like I say, and this is something I do a lot. I think this is also like the whole, which goes back to like my last episode about like romanticizing life, but I feel like I definitely like sometimes I'm like, oh my God, like I so want to go to like a party or I want to go like do this or I want to like whatever. And then like when it actually comes to that time, now I'm like, ugh, I like, don't want to do this anymore. And I'm like already dreading it. And I do this all the time. And then it's like, I don't even know why I do it to begin with. Like, it's like you literally made this plan for what? And now you're literally dreading it and you have no desire to go because I think it's just like, I like the idea of having fun. I like the idea of going out and being surrounded in like a confined room with like 80 million people. But I'm like, in reality, that's like my actual hell. And I feel like that would be the worst thing in the world where I'm just like stuck in there. You know what I mean? Like I would love, like I can't do all that. I'm not a super extroverted person. I feel like I can be. Oh, this is something else. I feel like I don't know. I guess I'm like an ambivert. I guess that's what it's called. But I feel like when I'm with my friends who are super extroverted, then I can kind of be like super, like I'm more quiet or I'm like more like, doing my own thing. But when I'm with like my quieter, like shyer friends, then I feel like I become the extrovert and then I become like super, talkative and then I'm the one starting conversations and stuff. And I noticed that because like I remember, like I would hear from different people like different descriptions of me and like I don't know what setting, but like they'd be like, yeah, like you're so energetic. And then like my other friends would be like, yeah, you're like so quiet. And it's like funny because, and I think that's also something that's hard for me because it's hard. And I guess I honestly can't fully say that I've found my people in life, which is, a little like whatever. But I think about this a lot, but I'm like, I feel like it is a little exhausting sometimes to kind of like switch personalities with different friends. I think that's why it's also so difficult when I like want to have like a birthday or like a whatever, because most of my friends don't really know each other because I'm like friends with different people, but I'm not like like I don't love being in like the entire friend group, because you know I like being able to like, you know, rotate or whatever. And I guess like that would make me like what, a floater friend, but I feel like it's kind of my own doing, because like I said, like I like to be able to like not be stuck in one group, and I think it's like nice to be friends with like all kinds of people, you know what I mean? Like I'm not like stuck in like one clique, whatever. But it does get kind of tiring at times, because one, then I always am like, I'm like, who am I really, you know? Like who, I'm like, I don't know if any of my friends know me fully and every aspect of me, because I feel like my humor has to be different with some friend groups, because like, you know, they would understand some jokes that my other friends wouldn't, or like the way I talk, or like the way I act and stuff like that. It's like, it's all me, but it's all different versions of me, and none of them are truly me, if that makes sense. And I feel like that's something hard to kind of accept, and it's like kind of exhausting sometimes, because you know when you make the, and it's like you can immediately see when you make the wrong joke with the wrong friend group, like it's like, oh my god, like I shouldn't have said that, you know, or like I'll make a reference that like they wouldn't understand, and then I'm like, ugh, my other friend would have understood it, but then you know what I mean. And I feel like in a lot of times in my life I felt like I'm having to kind of like try to, you know, fit their humor or whatever, which is difficult, you know, because it's like I hate feeling like I'm performing, you know what I mean, just so that they will like, you know, because it's like, especially when you're like join a friend group who's already kind of known each other for a really long time, then it feels like you have to do a lot more. I remember my freshman year, I was friends with people who honestly I can't even believe I was friends with, because they are so far from everything I am and everything I like. But and it was exhausting that year, because one, you know, I was doing things that like I would never normally do. Like I hate the whole like posing when like with your arm out like that, and like the whole like, you know, like cheer team, drill team, like preppy posts or whatever. Like that's just like not me, and like that's fine if those are other people, but it's like I just never fully obviously felt comfortable or like super, you know, like I'm not like, I like my own things, you know what I mean? Like they were all super like Taylor Swift and like whatever, and like nothing against that, you know what I mean? Like good for them, but it was just like not me at all. And I was like always having to kind of like try to, because they were all like dancers and I'm obviously not, so they all had that and they were always like talking about that, and then I would just like always feel like really like disconnected. And now I'm like, I honestly I always forget that I was even friends with them unless someone brings it up, but it's just like so, and then I'm obviously so grateful that like, you know, I'm not anymore. Again, like nothing I guess against them, but it's just like it was so far from who I am, and it's just like people I wouldn't ever really associate myself with, just because of like so many different reasons. But that year was like hard, and I feel like it was a time where I was kind of finding myself, you know, finding my style, my makeup, my friends, my personality. I feel like now I've definitely grown into myself more. I know what I like, and that's not really influenced by other people anymore. It's like of my own beliefs and my own feelings and my own thoughts and my own life and interests, you know. But it is still obviously shaped by the people around me, and I feel like that just happens naturally with everybody. But I've like, I make a conscious effort, especially now, to kind of like try and make sure that I'm not people pleasing, because I am so not a people pleaser. But I feel like sometimes it happens to anyone. It can happen to anyone. And you know, and then it's just like you have to remember who you are, you know? Remember who you are, and if people don't like who you are, then they're not the people for you, you know? And it is definitely especially hard in high school, because you know, yeah, there's like maybe 600 kids in my class, but that's really not a lot if you think about it. And you know, you're stuck in this confined space. You can't leave, you can't expand really, you can't really broaden your horizons. because you're still young, you don't have that much freedom. I'm grounded right now. So obviously it's not as easy as it sounds. So you have to make do. And, there's no harm, there's no shame in that. But I think what keeps me going, at least, is knowing that there has to be people for me. There has to be someone, even like romantically, I truly believe there's someone for everyone. And I think a lot of people might miss that because they're, either in a rush to just get whatever they can or whatever. But I like to believe that, I like to believe in fate a lot. I like to believe that everything happens for a reason, and that everything, all the bad things in life are there for a reason to help me in the future, or to, prepare me for something else. And maybe that's just cope, but, it helps me at least keep going. But yeah, anyways, we've kind of strayed a little from the topic, but I think that these are really important things, especially for teen girls and guys, honestly, but just like my audience, you are mostly. But I think it's just like important to know these things and to keep these things in mind, especially in this time of our lives, because being a teenager is honestly really hard. It is so emotional. It is like, it's truly a really vulnerable and difficult time in life. And I think that it seems like adults almost forget that when they grow up. But it's a time of so much confusion and uncertainty and just like trying to honestly fit in. I feel like it's so hard to be who you are individually and have your own unique beliefs or style or whatever, because it's, you're so easily judged, and it's so like hard to just completely be fully who you are just because of the entire environment. And that's no one's fault. It's just the way things kind of are. You know what I mean? It just happens naturally. I feel like it's just a universal thing, because I think deep down, everyone is scared. And the people who are, rude and mean and whatever, like they're also scared of something. And that's why they make fun of other people, But I think it's just something that people need to, enjoy in the moment. And I feel like it makes you stronger, especially for the people who don't peak in high school. I think it's just kind of like a little setback, a little lesson along the way. And, just to know that better things are coming. At least that's what I like to think and believe and hope. Anyways, I got a little dark, but, or maybe hopeful, who knows? But yeah, I think that's all for today. Please remember to subscribe to my podcast, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.